Hello and welcome back to The Lion's Den. I'm your podcast host, Matt, as always, and I said podcast host. I didn't mean that. We're on location again, so I'm really sorry if this sounds terrible. I've already re-recorded this like twice now, so sorry. Anyway, I'm on location because I'm in my car, and it's because we're talking about Mario Kart 8 today. Because it's awesome. What more do I need to say, right? It's Mario Kart 8. It was so good, the announcement, and all I've been doing for the past 3 days, other than, work, is playing Mario Kart. So, let's talk about it. So, the first thing I want to discuss is the brand new edition of the music player. I bet you didn't think I was going to talk about this, did you? The music player, I am super happy that they put this in because that is one of those like quality of life features you didn't think you wanted until you got it. It's so nice because the Mario Kart 8 music, even from the very beginning, has been phenomenal. They got a full live band in to record all of the tracks, and they've done really nice things with a lot of the remixes of previous tracks. So it's super duper nice to be able to actually listen to them in high quality without any sort of ads from like YouTube videos. That's normally where I'd watch them, and it's all in one place, and you can just flick around between them really super duper easy. Very happy about that. And the player is cool because it adds a couple features that I didn't even think of, right? So a lot of tracks have multiple versions within them depending on where you are in the track. That's especially prevalent with the tour tracks, where certain sections of each city track will have a whole different theme to them. So what they did in the player is they gave you an option to just cycle between the different versions of the song at will, which is really nice because it means you can listen to the whole track in one of the specific versions that maybe you only ever heard a portion of because you're flying through the track, right? One of the key examples I can think of is Singapore Speedway. That track is so good. It absolutely slaps and I love it. And they obviously gave you that section where you're going through the bazaar and it like changes how it sounds, so you could listen to the whole track as if you were sat in that bazaar, which is super nice. Things like Melody Motorway, way better name than Music Park, just saying. Melody Motorway has 5 versions. It has the standard version, it has the version when you're on the piano, version when you're on the 2 different glockenspiels, and then the version when you're in the final tunnel with the giant music notes that are bouncing around. So you get to listen to all of them. Super duper cool. Can I just say as well, like, the tour music has always been, like, absolute bangers. Somehow they managed to capture the essence of the city in a song in probably, like, really stereotypical ways, but it always sounds really good, and I love them. And so many of them are such banger tracks like Singapore Speedway. Bangkok Rush is another really good one. London Loop, absolutely love London Loop. That is a perfect song. And I'm allowed to say that it's possibly stereotypical, but still great because I'm from England, so hush. And the new DLC music, which I'll talk about briefly, is super duper good. The Wave 6 tracks. Moving on, characters. There's only 3 characters that I've dabbled with from the new set that I kind of care about, so let's go through those. We've got Pauline, absolutely phenomenal addition. Love Pauline. She's really cool looking. Love her design. She's a really cool character just in general, right? Her stats are really nice as well. They're really good. They're quite competitive. They're not the highest or the best, but they're like up there in terms of how useful they are, so that's really nice. She's really fun to drive with. She has some really nice details, so like some of her tricks look really cool and reference things, and she has this thing where when you go off a glider ramp with her, she has a chance of saying high up in the sky, the song lyric from Jump Up Superstar from Mario Odyssey, which the first time I heard that I was like, oh, that's the thing. It's the thing. Oh, it's cool. So that's really nice. The second person that I will discuss is Diddy Kong. Actually, Secret Sleeper. Diddy Kong's really cool. Glad to finally have him back. He looks really nice in 8. His trick animations are really cool as well. And he's really good for 200cc. His stats, again, lend himself very nicely for 200cc. So he's been very useful in terms of doing like time trials. And I'll probably look at trying to use him online as well. So that's super duper nice. And then, of course, we've got the GOAT Funky Kong. When everyone saw him announced that he was being added, we collectively freaked out. I freaked out as well because he looks super cool. His animations are the peak of Mario Kart 8, right? His stats are good. They're not amazing. Apparently they're like mid-tier, but he's still really usable. That's the nice thing about Mario Kart 8 is they kind of brought a lot of things into the fray where everything's kind of really good now. There's stuff that's like peak, but everything's really good and you can make it work. So we'll be playing a lot of Funky Kong. He's really fun to drive around with. Obviously, his animations are super cool. I love that they added the surfboard thing. That's a really nice detail. And one of his animations, which I believe is specifically for when you're in anti-grav, he does this surfboard trick off of like a wave of water. Looks incredible. It's super cool and I love that animation, and I will definitely be trying to get that as much as possible. So he's just super cool. Although his horn, I don't get the sound of the horn. I don't know if that's something to do with Donkey Kong Country, but I've never played those games, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I've even used him on 200. I've used Funky on 200, depending on tracks, because depending on what kind of track you're driving, sometimes you can get away with heavies, and then you've just got more speed, which is super fun. But I might switch back to the meta. Apparently the meta combos from the last wave are still pretty much up there. I think Toadette, or not Toadette, Peachette is supposedly the new peak. Bro, they're actually parking next to me. Why? Anyway, let's try and wrap this up with the tracks, the actual thing that you probably came here for. The wonderful Mario Kart 8 tracks that they added. So, the two tour tracks, you got Rome and Madrid. They're really fun, really happy with them. They're quite tight technical tracks, which is nice, lends itself really well to Mario Kart 8's kind of physics. That's super nice. And their songs are really good as well. I really enjoyed both just driving them blind and time trialing them. They're a little bit tricky on 200 because they are so tight. You really have to brake drift hard and not trick. That was the one thing I learned quickly is there are a lot of places you can trick, especially in the Rome course, but you don't want to do that because you'll just trick and then go flying into a wall and not be able to drift around the corner, or you'll miss a shortcut because you'll overshoot. So that's one thing to note. The Rome track as well caught me off guard because there's a section where you drive through the Colosseum towards the end of lap 3, and the change humps that like jump at the track or they like lunge towards the drivers as they go by caught me off guard, man. I was not prepared for that. Had this like change hump noise right down my ear as I drive by and like mild jump scare, so that was funny. What else have we got? The Madrid one's really fun as well, really tight track, nothing too wild or crazy about it. DK Summit, fantastic course, very happy they brought that back. They even brought back some of the shortcut potential. It's changed from how it worked in Wii and the GameCube versions, but it's still there. Like the gap jump at the very end, you just gotta kind of do it all over different. What is, oh my gosh, this guy's just carrying like half a tree. Wild. Absolutely wild. Just like DK Summit, very fun course, love it, very happy that that's here. We've got the brand new course coming all the way from Tour, Piranha Plant Cove. I love it. I think the kind of halfway house between being a ruined track and being underwater is really nice. I love that you kind of bob in and out above the surface and below the surface, and they go like really deep into some of the like alcoves where the creatures have dug out part of the ground. That's really fun. And the music, again, phenomenal. Very fun to drive. We've got Rosalina's Ice World. What a hidden gem, Rosalina's Ice World. Like, the music for Rosalina's Ice World absolutely friggin' slaps harder than... I'm not going to go there, but it slaps super hard, and I love that so much. And it drives really well. I love that they added the half pipes after the spiral section. That's really good. Lends itself to some fun shortcut potential and allows you to kind of get up onto the top section in the later laps when you don't quite have enough speed, so that's super awesome. Bowser Castle 3, what an absolute sleeper of a track. I love the redesign of it. I love the fact that they made it not flat. That's my biggest gripe with a lot of the SNES courses, is they're just flat. So the fact that they added the anti-grav and like the elevation changes is really cool, and it's just a joy to drive. And with that music, it just hits so hard, hits just right as well. And I love it on both 150 and 200. It just works super freaking well. And finally, we've got the absolute GOAT of Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road. You cannot go wrong with this course, and it's full of potential to just do absolutely crazy things. I discovered the U-turn skip at the very end of the track by pure mistake. I took the corner way too tight and cut it in and was like, yo, this is sick. There's like shortcuts everywhere. So super pleased with that. And again, the music for Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road, the remix, fantastic. So that's all I want to say, really. I've gone on probably a bit too long. But I hope you've all enjoyed listening. Go play the Mario Kart now, mate. Don't sit here for much longer. Stay safe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.